My name is Darren Joseph from HTJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and privilege of having another conversation with Mark. Mark, could you introduce yourself?
I'm an advisor to the entire financial industry on CRS, FATCA, and CARF, and I've advised the OECD and the EU Parliament and the EU Commission and the German government, etc. All this is on my website for anybody to look at.
Fantastic. Can you talk a bit about withholdable payments or withholding payments, please, in the context of FATCA?
Under FATCA, withholdable payment comes under Chapter 4, but there's always been withholding payments from the US for FDAP. I'll go into FDAP just now. Payments to foreign persons. That's called Chapter 3, or non-resident alien withholding. But in FATCA, you're required to report payments to a non-resident alien in Form 1042 and file a tax return, 1042. But under FATCA, the withholdable payments is under Chapter 4, which is kind of a copy of Chapter 3. Under Chapter 4, you're a withholdable agent for the purposes of Chapter 4 if you're a U.S. or foreign person in whatever capacity that has control, receipt, custody, disposal, or payment of a withholdable payment. Similar rules for determining who is a withholdable payment as described in Chapter 3, withholding, also apply to Chapter 4. Under Chapter 4 of the Code, a withholdable agent makes a withholdable payment to the payee, that is a foreign financial institution, and must withhold 30% on the total payment unless that withholdable agent, the non-compliant FFI, is able to treat the FFI as a participating FFI or deemed compliant FFI or exempt beneficial owner. A withholdable agent must withhold 30% made to a payee under Chapter 4 and is required to withhold to the extent that the FFI under the agreement, including a payment made to account holder, is required to be treated as a recalcitrant account holder. A reporting FFI is required to withhold under Chapter 4 to the extent that's required in the IGA. I'll explain just now exactly what is the income or capital that is withheld, because that has changed, and I'll explain that later.
Right, and yeah, that makes sense. We had Chapter 3 withholding, as you said, we had Chapter 3 withholding before, which is the FDAP stuff for non-resident aliens. But FATCA legislation created like a copy, but a different legislative section, which we collectively refer to as Chapter 4 to distinguish it from its predecessor. And this applies specifically to FATCA-related stuff, specifically with, as you pointed out, recalcitrant account holding situations. Yep, that definitely makes sense. And with that, Mark, thank you very much for the pleasure of your company and sharing your insights. And if someone wants to reach you, what's the best way to find you?
The best way is just to go to my website, which is co-ownershiptrust.com.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.